Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the materials that some of the highest end RVs are made out of and some of the pros and cons. So let's start here with aluminum. What you'll find is that you have the aluminum on the inside, and then you have aluminum channels, which is actually just a bracket made out of this, and then the aluminum shell. And there are various different styles that they'll use. They use white on the roof and then the shiny aluminum on the sides, and now sometimes they'll even paint this. Of course, it's beautiful, it's shiny. Even when it gets dirty like this one is, it's easy enough to clean off. And they don't generally get rusty, although they will oxidize if you don't take good care of them. But they're generally pretty long-lasting. They're lightweight for the most part. The aircraft is even made out of aluminum or a similar material. But after owning two shiny tin cans made of this material, I found out it's not all pros here. So a few of the cons. Hail is a major issue, right? And we had one dent that we just could not unsee. And the way that the company shapes the aluminum on the corners, they actually have to stretch form it. And so that piece in particular is a little more expensive than, the regular sheet, but even the regular flat sheet of aluminum is very expensive, as is the labor. See, the way that these are crafted is with rivets. So they're crafted with rivets, and what that allows is a really good bond. They also have a very unique shape. There's a lot of rivets used in these types of trailers. And unfortunately, what that means is that because they are buck riveted on the outside, you actually have to go from the inside to replace these rivets. You have to drill all these rivets out, and then in order to replace the buck rivets, you have to go in from the inside. Extremely high in labor, and it's not terribly difficult to total one of these out with hail damage. And it's a very unfortunate thing. So while hail is definitely the enemy of aluminum, we found that shopping carts that bump into the side of your trailer can cause some issues, mishaps. The material is not quite as forgiving as some of the others that we see here. And the other thing that we have really found is that there's a lot of thermal bridging. And so one thing you'll find is that aluminum and most metals are really good conductors of heat and cold, temperature differentials. So it doesn't matter how much insulation you put behind this panel. So you have the aluminum outside, you have the aluminum ribs inside, and then you have aluminum skin on the inside. And even if they were to put, say, a tape in between to try to block some of that thermal transfer and then add a ton of insulation, what you still have is the thermal transfer, because you also have metal rivets everywhere. And so metal is just a great conductor, right? And so what that leads to is sweating, and invariably, of course, you can run things like dehumidifiers and little heaters and things, especially in the winter, but you'll find that condensation is a real bear to deal with. And so these aluminum trailers often have very large windows that are usually going to be single pane, and unfortunately what that leads to is even more sweating, and then of course the heat and cold just affects everything. So ultimately, depending on the region that you're in and how much power you have, if you're on grid, off grid, things like that, there's just some pretty big variables as to whether or not you can combat the thermal bridging and the moisture condensation and mold that eventually builds up with these, unfortunately. Now, next up here, we have the most common form of upgraded travel trailer, right? You go stick in tin to, then you're gonna see something like this. And what we have here is we have the fiberglass or Phylon on the outside, and it's going to be usually pressed and glued to a substrate. Like in this case, it's going to be Asdel, but sometimes you'll even see Luan, which is a very thin wood. And so the composite substrate, that is then mated to aluminum channels. And then on this particular model, they're using Luan here, and then we have wallpaper here as well. In between those channels, we're gonna see foam. And so this is a very common upgraded material. And you'll see this on travel trailers, fifth wheels, even high-end motorhomes. And the reason is because it's really easy to work with when you have the right machinery. There are a few downsides to this. And so the first thing you'll notice, of course, is these channels. And we just learned that aluminum is a really good conductor of heat and cold. So the thermal properties of this is not as good, even with that insulation factor. The Phylon, the Asdel, or Luan in this case, might act as somewhat of a thermal barrier. But what you'll see, and we've even noticed on motorhomes that we've had, is you have a lot of sweating in the morning when you have condensation forming all around the ribs. But you see that not only the outside, but also the inside. And so that's something, of course, you need to combat with dehumidifiers and extra fans, opening those windows up and such. And so it's not impossible, but the thermal properties of this are not quite ideal, especially if you're going off grid, you're boondocking, things like that, and you can't run a power hungry dehumidifier or multiple in some cases, depending on the side of your rig. And we'll go ahead and also use this as an example of one travel trailer's flooring. Now, a lot of times, some travel trailers will have a piece of plywood down here that is screwed to the frame, and then of course they'll go ahead and then they bolt that wall or screw that wall into the plywood or the outriggers of the frame, and so you may have even less insulation than this. But with this, we're also going to see something kind of similar on the roof, where we also have to go ahead and screw, and then we have a seam here, we have a seam down here. And so what you end up with is a potential for movement, of course, as you go down the road. And you do have some bracing inside, and go ahead and watch some videos of what travel trailers and RVs look like going down the road. What you'll find is there's a lot of flexing, there's a lot of squeaking, and that squeaking a lot of times is going to be the sound of styrofoam. When that styrofoam is moving, and even within just the wall itself, I mean, these are huge walls, sometimes 40 plus feet. It's kind of insane sometimes to see some of the technology. But what you'll find is that that wall has to shift. It has to give, because if it doesn't, it's going to crack. But what that can lead to, unfortunately, is that you're going to need to seal the seams, but other times you don't catch the issues that arise, very silent, they're not going to announce themselves. And so you end up with seams that are not properly caulked, water gets in, things start to separate, you see that delamination on older motorhomes, and even though it's less of an issue, the thermal properties of this style are not ideal. And then you have all of the seams that are all around you, at the front, the back, the tops, the sides, you got the bottom, and ultimately what this leads to is a profile that's just not ideal for long-term durability. Going down the road, a home on wheels needs to be able to take these forces and ideally not separate and not leak. So we'll move on to how escape trailers are made. So what we have here is we have a gel coat on the outside, you have fiberglass, then you have closed cell foam, open cell foam, and then vinyl for the walls. So what they do when they're constructing these trailers is they go ahead and they have two molds. And so they run that gel coat, and then you have the fiberglass, and that goes all the way around. They're two big shells. Then they go ahead and attach all of this to a frame. Then they go ahead and they insulate the walls, as you'll see, and then they add extra insulation in certain spots, of course. So what we end up with is an excellent, strong material, very durable. You can see sailboats are made out of this, for example, but it's also excellent in regards to thermal properties. The structure does not rely on metal or wood to give it strength, and instead you have folds and you have the mold that basically, when there are curves, it'll go ahead and add rigidity to that particular area. And so you'll see that all around, and they masterfully designed these. It's really a great thing. But what you end up with is a very, very strong material that can withstand a lot of flexing and tension. And so that fiberglass material is a lot more impervious to hail, small strikes, and even the thermal bridging that aluminum is known for. We don't have to worry about the thermal properties of aluminum channels here, and we also don't have to worry about flexing and the creation of seams, separation, and delamination potentially with this style. And so what we end up with is something that's much stronger, less leak points, less stress points, much better thermal performance, so you spend less time worrying about fixing your RV and more time actually enjoying it. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this is insightful, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.